Hello, and welcome to Infinitely Lily. My name is Maria, and I am a trance channel and energy reader, and I deliver messages to the awakening collective of twin flames, soulmates, starseeds, empaths, and all other energetically sensitive archetypes. So today I'm going to be doing a twin flame reading. However, I feel this is open to all love connections. I am working with the energies here of the Eight of Swords and the King of Cups. For my divine feminine is the Eight of Swords, so self-imposed restrictions, and the King of Cups, who is standing quite strong in his power, staying true to his emotions and allowing his emotions to guide us. So the King of Cups is coming in here in a very strong position. The King of Cups represents someone who listens to their feelings. And I do feel like for many of you, this is going to be talking about your own inner masculine. So if you're a feminine watching here, however you resonate with that term, this is talking to the inner masculine within you, as we have a balanced amount of each, or we have the capacity to have a balanced amount of each. Many of us have an imbalanced amount of masculine and feminine energies. But this is showing me a rising of the true, authentic, divine masculine within what I'm feeling in this love connection. But I feel that I am talking to or connecting with whoever's watching here as a divine feminine. So the Eight of Swords, self-imposed restrictions, obviously she can just move her hands and cut herself out of that being tied up there. I feel as though there's been this inner struggle going on with whomever is coming through and connecting here with this, is being drawn to this reading. So if you were drawn here, this message might be for you. Please like and subscribe. It does help me to better pick up on your energetic signature. But this is showing me that there has been a struggle here, which I feel this divine feminine I'm connecting with had a very imbalanced amount of feminine energy when she first started her twin flame journey. She may have more resonated with a masculine term. And this is because she suppressed her feminine energy early in her life. And I'm seeing that there was some kind of father wound or early intimate connection wound that caused this. So just a fear of intimacy really is what's coming out here. So if you've never looked into the fear of intimacy, I feel this is something that will be powerfully important for someone listening. So the fear of intimacy really is distorting us when it comes to intimate connections, specifically with a sexual connection. It will cause us, even when it becomes too distorted, the fear of intimacy can even make you question the gender that you're attracted to, because you fear the intimacy, the emotional intimacy. I would say this is a fear of emotional intimacy with men because of some form of masculine or moon from a man energy, masculine energy early in your formative years. I would say around the age of 12 to 16. For many people watching here, it seems to be in that bracket. So something caused you to feel emotionally closed off, or a fear of connecting with them. But I feel this this deep lack of self-confidence might have caused you to feel like you need to look for validation from the opposite sex to feel good enough, specifically by showing how sexy you are or how desirable you might be, and giving away your sacred innocence in the process of trying to gain love through physical intimacy. And what Spirit is showing me here is actually this like switching of the sacral and heart chakra. So the heart chakra is designed to emit unconditional love, the love that we all are seeking for, and the love that, sorry, it keeps zooming out, the love that twin flame relationships is meant to restore when it is out of balance and we have blocked off this feeling. Twin flame relationships will delve in and heal any imbalances, allowing us to remember how to feel love unconditionally. When we have these early formative wounds, as I see here, this sacral chakra wound caused you to confuse lust with love and feeling as though if someone lusted you, that means that was the closest thing to love. So perhaps you had a father figure or even a mother figure, but a masculine energy in your life that had an overactive sacral chakra. So they had a very strong amount of sexual energy, which would feel like lust, and perhaps even the feeling of pervertedness in a lot of ways might make you feel very yucky. This might have been accidentally projected onto you or purposely, and this caused you to fear the masculine. But it ironically, and let's see if I can see into this a little bit deeper, caused you to, oh, I see. So because of this lust wound causing you to confuse love and lust, you desired lust from others because you thought that's the only way to achieve love. So your emotional intimacy only got as deep as love. So it might have caused you to be stunted emotionally around this age, specifically around physical intimacy, causing you to not being able to open up, relax, and allow yourself to receive physical intimacy in a way that is healthy and natural. Wow, that's a clear message coming through for someone. Okay, so this fear of emotional intimacy is now in the forefront, and I think that it had manifested as abandonment and rejection wounds in your life, specifically rejection wounds, I would say, although abandonment, I think you've always maybe known, or I feel perhaps you have worked through your abandonment wounds, but rejection wounds kind of hide. Rejection wounds look like anytime someone disagrees with you, if you respond very defensively, this is a sign of a rejection wound. Most times, if you're not capable of handling criticism or constructive criticism at all, this is a sign of rejection wounds. Perhaps you were trying to promote your business and you got some negative backlash and it caused you to just stop altogether. This is a sign of a very deep rejection wound that is causing you to avoid things in your life that you are meant to have with you. It also could be causing you to fear knowledge, to fear information, because you don't want to hear things that you can't unhear. This can come from rejection wounds, but there is a deeper energy coming out here. So I feel like this fear of rejection is kind of morphed and manifested and shifted as you went through your life, and now it's kind of changed to the fear. So there's been a lot of coming up for me about the fear of the law of attraction. Many of you watching this channel and those connected to spirituality will have heard of the law of attraction, and that your thoughts create things. So your thoughts help you manifest your reality. And I'm sorry that this keeps zooming in on my face and then not. I don't want to restart this because the energy is coming in so clearly. The law of attraction says, yes, that your thoughts create your reality. However, it's much deeper than that. Your desires and your beliefs. Deeply, your beliefs create your reality. Your thoughts are supposed to be your safe place. You know, we can tune into people's minds, but generally it's not a great place to be. You know, rather tune into people's hearts. That's a much more true place. So our minds are meant to be the safe place where we can, you know, reason with ourselves and try to come to an agreement. When you get a fear of having fear, which the law of attraction might cause you as you start to realize how powerful you are and how able you are to actually create your reality, it actually might cause a lot of fear of your own power. And I see this connecting back to this confidence issue that kind of resulted in this fear of intimacy. So the fear of having fear really causes you to avoid information that might trigger your fear, or it might cause you to have this very strong internal battle about which thoughts you should believe. And it will cause you sometimes to stop feeling your feelings because you fear that they might be wrong or bad. Excuse me, sorry. And this brings me to the other side here with this masculine energy coming in, the King of Cups, because he is coming forth here so strongly. So I think for many divine feminines here, your true divine masculine energy is waking up. So that means you'll see it both in your physical reality as your divine counterpart. So you're the person you are in connection with. You might see them rising in their power, being more true to themselves. And you might be feeling this true, authentic masculine energy within you. The masculine energy helps you feel heavier feelings. The divine feminine is associated with heavier feelings. The divine feminine actually associated with the bottom chakras. So in one aspect, from the root, sacral, solar plexus to the heart, these are heavier energies. When we say our higher self, we're saying from the heart toward the crown chakra. And we say our lower selves, we're talking about the heart to the root chakra. Although they have masculine and feminine energies, when it comes to feeling, the feminine energy is in charge of helping us to feel these heavier feelings. Like, I call it sad love. Some people will call them guilt, shame, regret, but really they're just like, I wish I would have done better. I wish I would have, loved more. It's just love. And if we can get out of our head, the head is where when you're in your head, guilt feels like guilt. When you're in your heart, guilt feels like love. And that's the power of the feminine energy, is she'll help you feel those deep, the dark feelings, we call them, like the yin and yang, the moon energy, help us feel those feminine energies of, wow, I wish I would have done better. And the masculine, how it helps in balancing those heavier energies is with this very assertive, very practical, and very proactive energy of, yes, I know we wish we would have done better, but here is what we can do now. If you can have that thought, that is a complete thought. So that will be a complete feeling. Some of us, we get so broken up, especially if you're in a twin flame relationship, you're going to feel feminine, masculine energies. It could get you really confused how to blend those back together. Because sometimes we think the masculine is supposed to be those dark, deeper, heavier, or more of strong energies. And we're looking at what the masculine energy is all wrong, in my opinion. So the masculine energy is like the most supportive, the most most caring, the most ability to pick you up kind of energy. Just very, very supportive energy that's going to take that heavy energy and it's gonna lighten it up. So the feminine says, oh man, I wish I would have done that differently. I really love that person or that experience, and I wish I would have done this. and the feminine energy can go into the past. And the masculine energy is going to balance that with a positive energy slightly into the future. It's going to make those energies merge as one. And that's what I call the neutral zone if you've watched any of my videos. And the neutral zone is where you can feel unconditional, pure love and your true, authentic feelings without layers on top of them. And when you're in your true, authentic feelings, you're going to feel your way through your life. And there's not going to be a yes or no. It's not going to be like this way or that way. You're just going to know, and your path will reveal itself perfectly for you. There will be no decision making. There will be no confusion in decision making, I should say. It will be obvious to you. And the masculine energy comes and says, yes, I know that you love that thing, but here's what we can do. And that powerful healing support of the masculine is what we're remembering now. The masculine isn't this harsh warrior, closed off, what we perceive the masculine to be, perhaps in our reality. It's hard to think of what actually masculine energy is because we've never really seen its pure authentic state. And it's being emerged for the first time, I feel, in forever and ever. And what I'm feeling here is as your masculine energy is emerging, it's going to cause you to feel inspired to make action in your reality, to cause change, to do the things that you are passionate and about, to have the courage to create fearlessly. That is the power of the masculine energy. This divine feminine, the only way to merge this is what I'm seeing here is to surrender this fear of intimacy within yourself. So I think as soon as you get into an intimate situation, your injured masculine energy is coming up. And as I'm talking this, I can feel my throat chakra clearing because I've been holding this information in for about 5 months. And it's kind of clogged my throat up because I do know I meant to speak it. I just needed to get my life together myself. Yes, so a merging of both of these energies, because I see as this masculine's coming up in his power, and you can feel this, the power coming from this card, right? He's just standing there in just pure love and bliss. Pure emotional stability, pure emotional agility, pure emotional maturity, which is something that we don't find in this day and age. And kind of a side note, but I've kind of started to realize, we have a rise in autism levels, and I think I'm seeing energetically that autism actually is coming from a very stunted emotional growth, specifically because the masculines are projecting out a injured masculine, and the feminines are projecting out an injured feminine, so there's really no authentic energy coming through, and children need that ability to see complex emotions in order to move through their life, and they kind of become emotionally trapped in their body, and really all they need is someone to just see them for how they're feeling and help them understand themselves so they can start to explain how they're feeling in a more physical way. So I feel this very, it's very soft. You see the masculine energy, we think of it so hard, but it's so soft. It has the strength to take on anything. It has the strength to open its heart no matter how hard the situation is. Realizing that when your heart is open, everything is easier for you. Closing your heart just causes you suffering. So when we think we have to do tough love or put up boundaries and all these things, there's just an emotion that we're not quite capable of feeling yet that will cause us to move through that reality or that situation much more comfortably in a way that we can be in alignment with our heart in that neutral zone and actually create a positive experience. So if you have that person in your life, perhaps like this feminine, her masculine, perhaps her father energy, and she's not capable of perhaps being open with him because she feels she has to guard herself from past experiences. She's just not maybe not using the bottom chakras enough. And you're going to have to do your shadow work when you go into the bottom chakras, when you start hitting the energy of the sacral and the root chakra. When we say we shove that way down, that's where we shove it. We shove it way down in there. And when that stuff starts to come up, it is very heavy. It hurts a lot to feel those feelings. But when you feel your way through life, honestly, life will transform for you. And when you're feeling in your heart, even if the feelings are very heavy, when you're not in your head, those feelings are still going to feel good, even when they hurt. Like grief, it's horrific and it feels, very heavy, but it feels good to cry, it feels good to grieve something. And that's the same with any feeling. If you're doing it properly by being in your heart, in your center, you will be able to feel the positive feelings from that and not get your mind attached to it. And if you can be in your heart and feel those feelings, your mind will unravel and it will get rid of the limited beliefs, or it will guide you to the limited beliefs, either through your imagination, so going to a memory where you created the limited belief, or a situation that brings up the limited belief, or it's going to help you create a situation in reality so that you can see this limited belief playing out. So your mind is always trying to help you. It is. It's just when we bring our awareness into our mind and into our brain where we store memory, it can become a very vicious cycle. And it's just not our center. We need to be in our heart so our peripheral can reach up to our crown, down to our root, and then take off the common sense of all those chakras to bring forth our truth, our authentic self. And our authentic self isn't perfect. It's not feeling happy all the time. It's going to feel the feeling of love all the time. If you're in your heart, you will feel love. But that means you're going to feel love in the form of what you might have called worry, or what you might have called grief, or what you might have called shame. But shame, when it's in balance, just feels like love. Shame, when it's felt in your heart, just feels like, man, I don't know why I did that. And that's just a motivator for the masculine energy to come in and say, well, next time we're going to do it better. And that's just life. So yes, as this masculine is rising, this feminine energy is, which we as the divine feminine energies have been working on the divine feminine, true authentic energies for the last 2 years. 2022 has been huge for the Twin Flame Collective, obviously. So the feminine energy has been rising up, but then now I see the masculine energy, and it's kind of like, I feel like for a while there in my readings, we were waiting for the masculine, like hurry up, like, oh my gosh, we're like pulling them up. That's how it probably felt for many of you, like you're dragging this weight behind you, and then woof, masculine just arose. Although they are a slower moving energy, traditionally, I don't actually believe that. That is something that, has been said, but I think it was just because we've never actually seen the true authentic masculine energy. And now that the masculine energy is being rebirthed or reborn to the collective, available. So this energy was literally offline. If you can picture, it was not available. So we're creating this feeling, we're opening it, cracking it wide open, and it's like, oh my gosh, this energy, we never had access to this. This helps me deal with my grief. This helps me deal with my guilt. I could not come to peace in my heart with my guilt because I didn't have access to this feeling. It was impossible for me. I tried, I moved it around, I tried to let it go. I didn't have my true authentic masculine energy to help me relieve my guilt, literally dissipate it completely through transmutation, canceling the energy in the center into the neutral zone. And now it's available, and it's just like, and now I see it. Like, the masculine energy obviously is associated with the sun and the light. It really is. It's the white of the yin and yang. It's a very light energy. I think we just never knew that. So now that the divine feminine energy is really waking up and we're starting to see it, I'm curious to see what it actually looks like in its true authentic light, because I don't think I've seen it fully yet. But right now we're at this point right now where the feminine energy is getting scared, or getting the confidence of the feminine has made her kind of withdraw as the masculine energy has risen. So if you have been working on your feminine energies, and all of a sudden you have this rise all of a sudden in masculine energies, if you've been feeling this, you might have felt kind of a pullback from your feminine. And you'll see this play out in your reality with your twin flame. as well. So what Spirit is showing me is that this feminine needs to work on her fear of intimacy in regards to feeling that she needs to control the situation. So there's a level of control coming up here. So the fear of having fear has caused her to fear her thoughts, perhaps, or caused her to fear her reality, just having more fear than she should. And it's kind of like, let's see, the blindfold on her is kind of like showing me like she's blindfolded. This is Spirit's telling me she's blindfolding herself by trying to predict her own future. It's like the more she looks ahead of herself, anxiety lives in the future, the more she's actually not seeing clearly. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. She's getting ahead of herself. So there is a form of self-sabotage actually coming up here for the feminine. And I'm just kind of this feeling, all these like intense energies like shooting out for the divine feminine. It's like, there is quite a lot of healing still to do here. In regards to, yes, self-sabotage. So this feeling of failure is actually, I see, so this feeling, it's very complex here. So this feeling of failure is what's causing this feminine to self-sabotage, thinking that, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. She thinks she's going to fail. So she's like, well, I might as well get it over with then. Kind of thing. And in this process, I see this kind of this wrapping. What's kept her wrapped up is this need to control her reality from fear of failure in the past. And if you have OCD or any kind of anxious disorder, the law of attraction can be hard on intrusive thoughts and things like that. So what Spirit's kind of showing me is like this need to control, this obsession over her thoughts, hoping that will create a better future for her, and is having to surrender this control. So it's kind of a 3-element thing here, Spirit's showing me. So the fear of intimacy, the fear of having fear causing, so the fear of failure, the fear of intimacy, the fear of failure, and the fear of losing control or not being in control, which kind of emulates the fear of failure. So I'm just watching these energies to shift because I don't think they've ever been pinpointed before, so they're going to manifest something new here. You might feel this experience physically, because I do feel as though when we do pinpoint these energies and we make them available, or we acknowledge them, even if it's just one person, the collective can then become aware of them. Nice. So if you're feeling a shift, maybe you're feeling your static in your third eye. Maybe you're feeling your temple pumping, because this all is third eye energy a bit. It's all very mental energy coming through here. The fear of intimacy will be stored somewhere in the sacral chakra, maybe on like I'm getting a sharp pain on my left side. Just realizing that, pain in your body is really a significant way to recognize energetic imbalances. We can feel energy physically before it manifests as something else. So for me, when I have a limited thought, perhaps of say like moving or something like that, I can literally feel my root chakra shift and kind of hurt, and I get a lot of sciatic pain as a sign of insecurity issues or something insecure in your reality that you're focusing on. The universe is just trying to get your attention to remove some limited beliefs. For me, even when I realize that and I change that, acknowledge that thought, see where it came from, feel the feelings that came through it, and then shift my belief focus and realize that I no longer believe in that, I will actually hear my house, my physical house shift, and my reality shifts, or my foundation shifts. my whole physical reality shifts. It's really, really cool. So I'm just letting this shift here. I almost feel like we need to stop the video here, and we'll kind of continue next time. I think maybe, hopefully you got some answers in the mix of this as we led up to kind of the finale here, but I think this is just still creating, still manifesting, and still unraveling. So it might not be yet available. There is a lunar eclipse coming up. I kind of feel like it might be associated to that. The 8th. Spirit said, I don't know if the lunar eclipse is on the 8th. I'm not sure, but the 8th of November. So if you're watching this video way later, maybe it's the 8th near you. 8th, 18th. So I'm definitely feeling, so you can feel when you purge an old thought form. You actually can, that's generally where headaches come from. If you are stuck on a thought, you'll get, generally get a pressure headache. But if you're purging an old thought, it'll actually feel like stabbing as that energy leaves your physical reality. If you get muscle twitches, this is a really good sign that energy is moving through your body. As you relax and meditate, if you start getting twitches, you just know you're clearing something specific there. And when you meditate, it's really important to allow your mind to relax and then wander, because it's going to take you to situations that's going to cause yourself to feel those feelings. And if you don't trigger the mind with fear, you'll be able to move through those feelings. Because as soon as you get triggered with fear, you stop yourself from feeling and you kind of get stuck. So when you go back to those places in a meditative state, you're able to move through those energies without implementing them, without impeding on them, and causing them to have to come back later. Yes. So this energy is unraveling, I feel. There's a lot of movement coming in here. The masculine energy is just like, it's so powerful, and I think it's the future energy. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that, and hopefully come on here in the next few days, probably on the 8th, and try to wrap up this reading for you all. But I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please share this with someone if you feel guided. It's the best way for me to get my word out to everyone. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you soon.